All right, Scott, let's hope this review doesn't end in vain. All right, Scott, you and I jumped into Vane over on the PC. We're checking it out over on Steam. This is actually out on the PlayStation 4, which I wasn't aware of. You brought my attention to that one. But we checked it out over on Steam. What'd you think?
Well, we didn't hear about this game until we got into it. So it was really cool that it was totally new to us because it's a completely personal experience. You got to play this, and it's unique. So it seems like a kind of a blend of a lot of different other games that we're used to.
A lot of games. It reminds me of the Shadow of Colossus, Limbo, Inside, kind of a mixture of a whole bunch of things into their own style.
Journey, Feather, if anyone's checked out our review.
That's right.
There's different components to this game that feel different as well. So I like how they kind of broke it up.
It was cool. It's a puzzle-solving mechanic throughout the entire game. But the way that it opens up into this huge storm, and then it transitions you into other parts. All of a sudden, my favorite part, honestly, was the part where you become a crow and you just fly around the open sand area, like the desert looking, and just explore. That was probably one of my favorite parts of the entire game.
And you're not quite sure exactly what to do. It's a very implicit story.
Well, okay, so yeah, the story is a little convoluted in my take, and I didn't really understand what the heck happened throughout the story, even after the ending. I don't understand
really know what happened now.
what the point of this was. It is an artistic appeal, I think, that has the whole art style to it. The art I thought was actually fantastic. Everything's got this metallic sheen to it.
Oh, catches your eye right off the start, too.
Man,
Yeah,
it was very pretty.
And a very good intro cutscene gets you into the different ways this game's gonna look.
Yeah.
And then you're just a bird. That was so disorienting to me because I didn't know if I was in the wrong game, if this was just gonna be Feather 2.
That's what I mean. Like, it's just an artistic spin on someone's vision, right? Is how that kind of goes. It's someone's interpretation, and you're kind of left to interpret your own kind of idea of how the story unfolds and what happens and why. Honestly, I don't know
what the gravity of all of it is.
What the point of this story is.
No, but it is very an emotional story that they try and tell, like an emotional experience. Rather, where the sound and the visual design really lends it to getting into this world.
Yes.
And then you play several hours of it, and it's not a very long game, so it's kind of just meant to. I believe it's meant to be an experience.
I think, absolutely. I think it is an experience. I think the time frame within the game is spot on. I think they absolutely nailed that. It gives you very little indication of how to control anything and where to go. There's no indicators.
It's very basic.
Where you should be leading your crow or your character when you transform. The cool part is, too, when you're that little girl. I took it as a girl.
Yep.
Yeah? Okay, that's what I'm going with. But when you jump off a ledge, boom, you're into a crow, and then you're flying around. It was so cool.
And it doesn't really tell you have to do that first.
So
out of desperation, you jump off the cliff and turn into a bird again. And
you get stuck.
And then the whole next section of the game, it was really cool and well hidden like that behind these small puzzles.
It's one of those, no hand-holding here. It's just go figure it out for yourself.
Zero narrative at all, yeah. So you kind of need a little bit of help maybe, or enough time spent in the world to get grasp of what you can control and what you can't. Because a lot of the interaction with the world is just you settling as a crow on something and calling all your crow friends to you.
Well, okay, so I had a bit of a problem with settling as a crow. I got no problem if you want me to perch on something, but then let me perch on it, because when I'm flying to it or close it or somewhere near this thing, then I'm not like clamping on
getting
anything.
the
I'm
actual
just,
claws,
or like going by, or I'm just kind of hovering over top. But I'm just there. I'm nowhere near. Just let me land where I want to go. So I had camera problems. I found the camera would spin around and I'd have a huge problem, especially when I was actually the female character. I got stuck on some walls.
Yeah.
So it was just,
I thought maybe the camera
was close, man. It was close.
I thought that was the only hint you were getting. When I played the bird sections of it, it kind of zooms out to show you that you can go a large distance. But if you get towards the edge of the map, it zooms real in, so you can't see very much at all.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like a slight little push to show you the right direction.
Yeah.
But you're right, when you get to be a character and you're walking around, you don't need that kind of push, and it really just kind of gets in the way.
I was turning sometimes, and then the wall behind me would completely hide my character, and that was a huge issue because then I lost where I was. So besides that, though, the music, the score within this game is one of the top parts of this game. It is beautifully designed, and how it kind of just puts a feeling behind it.
It does add
too.
a lot of emotion to it,
Absolutely.
to what you're seeing. And you're not quite sure what you're seeing, but the emotion is there, and it's memorable.
All right, Scott, we had a good time in Vane. I had a couple issues, but if we're going to score this one, what are you going to give this one?
So being that it's a nice short experience, you kind of have to have that in mind when you're looking at this kind of a game. But artistically, it's there. I love it. It looks visually amazing, and the sound is there, and the adventure was really cool, and I like how it didn't tell me what to do. I kind of did like that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to give this one a nice 7.5.
You know what? I'm right there with you. I had a great time. The fact that they didn't tell you what to do, I felt sometimes was a bit of a hindrance. I wasn't sure what direction to take.
Oh, you get stuck for a while.
You get stuck, but I think because it is so short that's okay with this game. But the vision overall and the story kind of left me wanting a little bit more explanation of what I was doing and why I was doing this. I'm there with a 7.
With very stylized graphics and great sound and music design, but lacking story and direction, we thought overall Vane was a very great, short, and powerful experience.
Subscribe to never miss a video and help us by hitting that like button.